said around inauguration time that I would be here for the first 100 days of Trump's term in office. That 100 days is up a week from tonight. And so a week from tonight will be my last night of this 5-day-a-week thing. I will stop doing 5 nights a week. Next week, I will go back to just doing Mondays. I'm not going away. I'm going to be here every Monday. And the great Jen Psaki is going to be here at 9 o'clock Eastern time, Tuesday to Friday. You're going to love it. Don't worry. It's all going to be fine. But as we get to this benchmark, which is going to be a transition for me, I've been thinking about what we've been through this past 90-plus days as we're heading toward the 100-day benchmark. And I realize that at least the way that I have come to understand what we're going through, it's got kind of, I guess it's got like 3 sides to it. I mean, yes, this is a story of Trump's extremism, right? We really are, without a doubt, going through a kind of attempted authoritarian takeover of our country. And that has included destroying as much of the government as possible and using the government in every way they can to try to hurt people in the country who the president wants targeted. They are having government attempted takeovers of huge swaths of civil society, including the legal profession and education and even like museums. They are banning books. They are policing what words people are allowed to use in bizarre and authoritarian ways. They are using terror tactics and secret police tactics against people they are targeting, including secret detention and sending people to foreign gulags. They are reversing our alliances with the countries of the free world and aligning us with the dictatorships instead. They have freaking redecorated the White House with cheesy-looking gold gewgaws, so it looks like a cheap budget hotel version of the Kremlin. I mean, like, we are there. The authoritarian project is definitely here. It is what we are up against. Everybody who warned against that before the election was correct. No question. That's part of it. Right. The second part of what we're going through is the country loudly and roundly saying no to that. People protesting against him in every single state in the country, in blue states, in red states, in big cities, in small towns, in Washington, and everywhere else. I mean, every single freaking day. This was yesterday in Detroit and yesterday in San Diego. People protesting, saying, hands off the EPA. This was Tyler, Texas yesterday. People absolutely reaming out their Republican Congressman Nathaniel Moran at a town hall in his district in Tyler, Texas. This was North Carolina earlier this week. People in Republican Congressman Ted Budd's district holding an empty chair town hall there for him, to which he refused to show up. They packed the house anyway without him. This is Pomona, California yesterday. People turned out to protest at a Home Depot parking lot after Trump's immigration agents came there earlier that day and arrested people from that parking lot. The community turned out in response. This was 40 minutes away in Anaheim, outside the offices of Republican Congressman Young Kim. People protesting against the Trumpcades to Medicaid, which will be absolutely devastating in Kim's district and in most places around the country. And everywhere. This just, like snapshot. Headlines today. Everywhere, every state, people turning out and saying no every way they can. That has been part of the story, too, and one that we've tried to keep in focus here on this show. But I said there's kind of, I think, 3 parts to this story. It's Trump's extremism, people saying no. But there then is this third thing, which has been the undercurrent to all of it. And to me, I think it is the real lesson of the first 100 days. I mean, I know the first 100 days is like an artificial benchmark, but it's a benchmark that we are using. And if there is something to learn about what Trump in power is going to be like, I think the first 100 days have given us one very clear lesson, right? We know he's trying for the whole dictator thing, no elections, no courts, no resistance, rule by terror, right? We know that. We know the people of this country aren't having it. But I think what we should also know, what we have just lived through in this first 90-plus days thus far, is him screwing up. It's him absolutely blowing it. I mean, it is one thing to understand the gravity of his intentions, but I think it is equally important to recognize that he's really bad at everything he tries to do. I don't know if he's bad at good stuff he tries to do, because he's not trying to do much that seems good. But the bad stuff he's trying to do, he's been real bad at that.